before the video starts, I have a new health business called Arbonne, and if you're interested in it at all, I've got an Instagram page and I'll also link it all down below. But anyways, let's get into the video, hey? Alright, so the grand final was an absolutely disappointing result, honestly. Brisbane were way too good. Congratulations to Brisbane, all their supporters who watch the channel or are new. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. You know, I am one away from 700 subscribers. 301 to go. Anyways, let's get on track. And yeah, it was a disappointing game. Sydney, can they ban themselves from making grand finals, please? Because it's really frustrating. And Will Ashcroft, I reckon he deserved it. The Norm and Aaron Lachie Neale and Dane Zorko weren't robbed, but they were pretty close. They were pretty close, I reckon, to winning the Norm as well. But the game was all over at so the game was all over at pretty much the halfway mark of the second quarter. It was pretty much all over. Sydney had a pretty good first quarter, I'd say, and then they just slacked off. They weren't running both ways like they were during the season. I don't think they deserved to even be there, to be honest. I know they won quite convincingly against Port Adelaide, but it was just so disappointing. Chad Warner tried, but there was just so many things that went wrong, especially with their injury selection. Oh my goodness gracious me. How many times do they have to learn? With Calvin Mills, with Dane Rampy, and so on and so on. Logan McDonald now. Seriously, he was not fit at all. He was injury prone, and it just happens again. And add Sam Reid for that as well. It's like, surely they've got another couple of good, solid forwards that can, create contests and stuff and actually are healthy. So that's a pretty poor decision in the end, and nothing just went right for them. They just didn't look ready after quarter time at all. They weren't running for each other. They weren't communicating. They were spoiling their own players. Turnovers galore. So there's so many things that went wrong. And if I was Sydney, I'd probably get rid of John Longmire. I know that seems harsh because they made a grand final, but even have him around as assistant coach, let Dean Cox take over, because they really need a new game plan, or even just some fresh faces. Like Luke Parker's probably gone to North Melbourne, and there's a few other players that want out apparently. Chad Warner apparently wants out. These are trade rumours, so I'm not going to speculate or anything like that, but that's going to be interesting for the next month. We'll see what happens in the trade period for Sydney. Now Brisbane, they absolutely deserved it one bit. They played really good football. They were playing unselfish football, and when they were all kicking goals, they were all getting around each other, and that's what football's about, really. And they deserved to win it all. Yeah, it's just frustrating. I'm a Cats supporter, if you can tell from that Gary Ablett poster. Yeah, it's just so frustrating. We could have won the flag, but Brisbane just played a little bit better than us, especially in that last quarter in the prelim. But Sydney, they cooked. They've still got a lot of young talent, don't get me wrong. They're a seasoned team. They're not built for finals, I don't think, yet. But Brisbane, they were just turning it on. Joe Daniher, that surprised me a lot. I thought he'd be living in Brisbane, especially with the water and that, but he lives in Byron Bay. I know that's like an hour and a half, 2 hour trip to Brisbane, so it's not that much, but it's a different state. It's like, wow, that surprised me, really. But I mean, I feel like he is a little bit of a hippie in a way, like with that sort of lifestyle, he'd definitely fit in there. But at the same time, yeah, if that's the last time we see him, hey, at least he's won a premiership in his last game. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was such a disappointing game. Katy Perry was pretty good, and Brisbane were absolutely sensational. But Sydney, again. When will they learn to perform on the big stage? Now, as a cat supporter, it's a bit rich coming from me. But I didn't get to see the heartaches of what the 90s and 80s that the Cats suffered. But yeah, where to go from here? I'm not sure really. There's nothing really else to say. Kyle Oman's my new favourite player. That's a non-Cats player. That's awesome. So yeah, he was sensational. I thought he was also a little bit stiff from the Norm Smith, because he was sensational, that's for sure. And yeah, it's crazy though. Levi Ashcroft could be better than Will Ashcroft apparently. So if that is, we're in for another dynasty. That's just it, you know. And they've got a few academy players that they'll probably want to come in as well. And yeah, they're in a really good space at the moment. Their culture's built really well, especially with Chris Fagan. He deserved, you know, if there's any other coach who deserved a flag, definitely him. You know, they built 6 years for this. They built, and yeah, they've just played really well. They've recruited really well, and yeah, they're in for potentially a dynasty. But yeah, they're just an amazing football club, and a team that I respect, even though I dislike sometimes. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it for season 2024. I'll continue on this channel. Gonna do some NBA and cricket content, but on different channels, because I don't want to really mess up here, because I don't want cricket lovers, you know, who only just want to watch cricket on this channel. I'd rather just AFL and then whole cricket and then NBA. So I'm a bit slack lately. I do apologise. I haven't been feeling too well at the moment, but I'm slowly getting better. But yeah, so that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. There's plenty more content to come out, and trade period will be on, and I'll try my best to go through all of the trade periods. Obviously there's probably a lot of other YouTubers that are a lot better than I am at discussing trades and that, but I'll try my best. So yeah, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, peace.